Guys are doing great. Okay. If I don't know where you're joining me from, but kindly tell me your name and where you're joining me from, okay? I'm taking a work, but it's extremely cold. I don't know how long I'm going to last in this cold. It's good to be in London, but this cold is okay, very scary. Tell me your name and the city you're joining me from. Okay, Modukpe from Nigeria. Welcome. Today I want to talk about financing real estate. Excited about this being in London. The cold is too much, so I'm not in any way a fan of cold. Some people may like it, but I'm not. I don't like it. I don't like cold, but I have to be here. I have an event this Saturday that has been scheduled, so I have to be here, guys. So I'm here. But how you guys doing? Hope you're doing fine. Like I said, I hope I can endure this cold because it is extremely cold. But we're looking at financing real estate in the UK and other Western world. So let me start by explaining to you that building wealth in the Western world is different from Africa. The way to build wealth in this part of the world is to use debt. Basically, loan. Okay? Debt is the key to building wealth in this part of the world. I want everybody to type it. Debt, or debt, depending on how you pronounce it, is the way to build wealth in the Western world. Everybody, I want you to type it if you're with me. Come on. Debt is the way to build wealth in the Western world. So most parts of Africa, for you to even invest in real estate, you need your cash. Okay, you have to pay full money down. However, investing in real estate in this part of the world, if you put down all the cash, you are not being smart. Okay, at all. You are not even being smart at all, because the system wants you to collect loan to get debt. However, there are good debts and there are bad debts. Okay? Come on, everybody. Are we together? I want everybody to type there are good debts and there are bad debts. So what is a good debt? We may make this training two-part anyway. What is a good debt? A good debt is a debt that goes towards sources of passive income. A good debt are debts that goes towards vehicle for passive income. In other words, a good debt is the debt where you invest in assets, cash generating assets. So for example, I take a loan from the bank and I buy a house, but I don't live in the house. I rent the house out. And what my tenant is paying me is more than the interest I'm paying on the debt. Then that can be called a good debt. Okay? You can call that a good debt. Now, a bad debt is the debt that you take and you put towards liability. Okay? So you take a debt and then you buy a house and you live in the house. That's a bad debt because your house does not produce cash. So at the end of the day, you miss your mortgage payment, you lose the house. A bad debt is the debt you use to go and buy a car. So, I need a car. I'm in Canada, I'm in US, I'm UK, I must get a car. Now you get a car, now you have so much to pay in taxes, so much to pay, on your insurance, so much to pay on all the bills around the car. At the end of the day, you are living paycheck to paycheck because yes, debt is good. Yes, you should do debt, but you now have gotten a bad debt. Okay, so you must know the difference between a good debt and a bad debt. And if you go ahead and invest in a bad debt, you will regret it. Are you learning, guys? If you're learning, type, I'm learning. Come on, talk to me. If you're learning, type, I'm learning. I want everybody to type, I will invest in good debt. Okay? Come on, everybody, type it. I will invest in good debt. So, and this is, again, for those of you who live in the Western world. If you live in Africa, my advice is run away from debt. Okay? It doesn't always work, and particularly institutional debt. If you're going to do debt in Africa, you may want to start with family and friends, people who know you, to invest in your business. If they know you enough, if they followed you enough, if they believe you enough, let them invest. But if you start your business with institutional debt in Africa, the institutional lender will take over your business. So what is institutional debt? You take a loan from a bank, that's an institution. You take a loan from a company, okay? A venture company, and investment company, whatever. That's an institutional debt. And if you do that, they will eventually take over your entire business. So, but in the Western world, good debt is good. In fact, you build wealth in this part of the world by taking more debt. Okay? If you are learning, type, I'm learning. So debt is good in the Western world. You can never be rich in this part of the world without debt. The richest people in this part of the world are the people who owe more. Okay? Those who avoid debt in this part of the world, they pay more in taxes. They make the government richer and richer, and they get poorer and poorer. Okay? And that is the way the system is wired, guys. It's the way it's wired. You can't fight it. You just have to understand what you're dealing with. That, okay, I'm dealing with a system that doesn't even want me to use my cash for investment. The system wants me to borrow. However, I must know what is the right thing to borrow for and what is the wrong thing to borrow for. Okay? What are the right things to borrow for? What are the wrong things to borrow for? So today I'm going to be sharing with you something we're going to teach extensively. How many of you, by the way, are in London? If you are currently in London, just type, I'm in London. We're going to be teaching you this extensively this Saturday between 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. There will be lunch. We're going to have lunch. We're going to learn. And so I'm going to be teaching you in details. Okay? If you're in London. So send me a DM and I will teach you more in detail. But if you're in London, how do you finance real estate? Okay? Because now I have explained to you that using your money, okay, to do real estate or to do investment in this part of the world is not the wise thing. Because the system is wired for you to take a loan, to take debt, to go and borrow. And it favors you that way when you take debt. Because it's debt, you don't need to pay tax on it. It was something you borrowed to start with. So you must understand how the system works and take advantage of it. So the first type of debt you must take if you want to invest in real estate in this part of the world is called mortgage. Okay? Now, hear this very well. And this is very, very important. There are different types of real estate investments you do in the UK or in the Western world. And when you want to take a mortgage, you must ask yourself, what are you trying to do exactly? Now, if you're trying to do investment, it's key that you don't take the entire limit that is available to you for mortgage. So I'll give you a practical example. I want to buy a single family home. Let's say it's 4 bedroom. The goal is to rent out this single family home, and I could generate $5,000, or let's say £5,000 from the rent. Okay? Now, hear this. If I decide to do 10% down payment or 20% down payment, maybe my mortgage will amount to what? £5,000. So, the wisdom here is that I should never deposit 20%. I should rather go ahead and deposit as much as 50% and let the lender give me another 50%. Now, you may ask me, Dr. Stephen, where will I even get the first 50%? Remember again what I'm saying. This lecture is for those of you who are trying to do real estate for business, for making money, not for a house that you're going to live in. Okay? And these are proven strategies that work. Now, what I will do is to privately raise 50%, friends and family. Okay? I can create a fund, a real estate fund for my business, and raise 50% of the money, and then get mortgage for the remaining 50%. So what happens at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen? What happened is that I will have deposited 50%. Probably I even brought my own money as well into the deal. So let's assume I'm dropping 10%. Then I raise family and friends to drop 40%. Then I got a mortgage for 50%. At the end of the day, I'll only be paying £2,500 to the lender. I then have £2,500 to pay myself and my other investors. Are we learning, guys? If you're learning, type I'm learning. What will happen is this, and this is the beauty of this deal. I will make something called capital appreciation, and that becomes my own money, 100% mine, if I buy the right property. So in the next 5 years, the property I bought for, I'm just giving an example, £500,000 could be worth £650,000. Now, how much capital appreciation do I have? Come on, let me see whether you guys are following me. If I'm able to get that, how much capital appreciation do I have? I want to be sure you guys are following. How much capital appreciation do I have? I put in 500,000 when I'm buying the property. The value of the property now is worth 650,000. So how much is my capital appreciation?
Bobby, white taxi.
Okay? So how much is my capital appreciation? Anyone? 150,000. Good. I want to be sure you guys are following. Okay? Now, do you know that entire 150,000 is mine? And I can then put that 150,000 into another deal. Okay? That can become capital, my own contribution for another deal, where I can get another set of people to give me extra few cash, right? And then I do another deal. And I can go on and on and on. Before you say Jack Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, I am having 50 houses under my control. I am distributing to my investors, I'm distributing to myself, and I have done what we call good debt. Everybody say good debt. Everybody say good debt. Yes, you have to pay your investor, but you are making money, your investors are making money, everybody's making money too. And when you get your capital appreciation becomes your own money that you can put into other deals as your own contribution to the new deal. Okay? You don't need to, your investors are not equity owners. So you're able to borrow from your first deal and put into your second deal. The equity on it, and then you keep expanding like that. So one house turn to 2, turn to 3, turn to 4, turn to 5. Another type of financing you can go for is called bridging loan. Everybody say bridging loan. Okay? Everybody say bridging loan. By the way, like I said earlier, you're going to be learning more during our real estate investment masterclass London this Saturday, 16th of December, between 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. The event is £500. I am willing to give you 50% discount if you're registering today. Okay, so you can send me a DM. I'll give you all the details. We will be getting, we call them mortgage brokers. So they work with different financing companies, right? Different lenders. The person who will be training you on this works with more than 100 lenders in the UK and in the US. And she will be sharing with you what are the processes, how do you qualify, so you can, because some of you are sitting on money, right? Some of you qualify to be able to get loan when it comes to real estate investment, but you just don't know it, okay? And because many of you don't go for trainings, you don't want to pay to learn, and you're tired of doing paycheck to paycheck, you're tired of where you are, but you are not also ready to live where you are by taking some risk, because nothing great is ever easy. If it's easy, everybody else will have done it. Okay, so bridging loan, everybody, I didn't say anybody type that. The second financing that is very critical to real estate is called bridging loan. Everybody type bridging loan. Now, a bridging loan is similar to a construction loan in the terms when it comes to real estate. Now, and I'll give you a practical example. Let's assume you buy a property. I'm just giving an example. You buy a property, and the property is 3-bedroom, not too good house. Maybe you bought it out of auction, and then you need to renovate the property, right? You need to renovate the property to make it better, so that when you are flipping it, you will get good money, or when you are renting it, you get good money from tenancy, or if you decide to use it for HMO. How many of you in London or in the UK know about HMO? If you are in the UK and you know about HMO, type I know. If you don't know, type I don't know. Right? So you could decide to use it for HMO, which is even better. So I can convert a 3-bedroom to 6-bedroom, what we call self-contained. Okay? Now, what is very powerful with a bridging loan, and this is one of the most powerful ways to really, really make money, is that I can decide to buy this property for, let's say, $150,000. Okay? I'm buying this property, and I take a mortgage on it. Right? Typical process. For this one, I do not need to necessarily pay 50%. I can pay the least I can pay. So let's assume I just need to make a down payment of 10%. Please, for this type of, financing, go ahead. Pay your 10%, get a mortgage for the remaining 90%. That's okay. Now you own the property that went for £150,000. Now, let's assume you want to, what it will cost you to turn the 3-bedroom, okay, to 6-bedroom will require another £80,000. I'm just giving, assume figures here, right? It will take £80,000. I can get a bridging loan. Okay, another word or another type of such similar loan can be a construction loan. Now, with this bridging loan, I have £80,000 to renovate the property and make it look good. Now, once I am done with the renovation, I then will do a refinancing on the property. So remember, the value of the property when I bought it was how much? Who can remember? Let me be sure you guys are following. When I bought the property, what was the value of it? Anybody? I just want to be sure you guys are following me. It's a very... Oh, Jesus. I just had to take my work. Sometimes sunlight in London is just 5 hours. It's something serious. I don't even understand what's going on. It's the wrong time to be in London. Good. Thank you for giving me the answer. 150,000. Okay? Now I got a bridging loan for another 80,000, isn't it? That gives us a total of 230. By the time I do my refinancing, the value of the same property will now go as high as 350,000. Okay? Sometimes it's as high as 400,000. Because remember, the house I bought was a dilapidating house, good for nothing, 3-bedroom. Not only have I renovated the entire thing, I've increased it from 3-bedroom to 6-bedroom. Suddenly, the typical value will go up from 150,000 bad property to 400,000 6-bedroom self-contained. Okay? And this is powerful. Now, what will happen? I now have, ladies and gentlemen, let's assume another different lender was the one I used to do the refinancing. I now have 400,000, isn't it? I will pay the first lender 150,000 totally off. Is that correct? I pay my bridging loan 80,000. Is that correct? Guys, talk to me. Come on. 80,000. Boom. Right? And how much do I still have left on the property? Capital appreciation now. Can anybody give me the answer? Okay? I started with 150. I borrowed 80. That gives us 230. After renovation, I did refinancing. The value is now 400,000 pounds. Let's use pounds since we're in the UK. So, how much do I have left on this deal? Come on. 170,000 TJ. Rich forever. 170,000, guys. That can be called a whooping profit. Okay? Are we learning here? I hope everybody is learning. So even my own 10% that I put in, I can get that back as well. And I still have 170,000 on the deal. Not just that, I then can rent out this 6-bedroom, okay, and be getting an average of 5,000 to 6,000 pounds every month, guys. So I've made money from buying the deal and renovating it, and for the rest of my life, potentially, I am still making money on the rents. Because by the time, for such a property, by the time I pay my mortgage and pay other bills, you know, I can still have 2,000 to 2,500 pounds every month that is coming to me free money. Okay? Come on. Does this make sense? If it makes sense, just type make sense, make sense, make sense. Now, why do most people not know this? That's the question, right? How come we don't know this? How come I don't know this? Because you don't go for trainings. Nobody teach this for free. That's why you don't know it. Okay? You have to pay to learn things like this. And I've said it over and over again. It's one of the biggest mistakes that we make. A lot of us want to be rich, but we don't want to pay for knowledge. We expect to just learn it for free. Unfortunately, in a capitalist society like America, like UK, like Canada, you have to pay. Okay? Nobody's going to open you up to how you can be making millions without paying. You know, one of gentleman that called himself a mentee of mine, was an Uber driver in this same London. Drove Uber for many years, struggled on the streets. And right now, he has real estate assets worth over 70 million pounds. Everybody type 7 million pounds, sorry. He has real estate assets worth 7 million pounds, generating cash flow using this same, HMO model. Everybody type 7 million pounds, from Uber driver to 7 million pounds. Okay? Who wants to be like that? Anybody interested? Okay? Who wants to? From Uber driver to controlling property worth 7 million pounds here in the UK. So when you look at things like this, the question is, why are people not doing it? They are not educated. So again, if you are in London or in the UK and you're willing to come for my training this Saturday, type I'm coming to London. Come on. Okay? What I will give you today is a 50% discount on my London training it's called the Real Estate Investment Masterclass. And the good news is I'm bringing one of my trainers tomorrow. Will be teaching you on how to access loan for your real estate deal. In fact, I just finished having a meeting with her. She was begging me, "Doctor, I have money to give people for their real estate deals. Please help me. I need people to give money." Right? I have more than 100 lenders looking for good deals that they can invest money in here in the UK, and another set of 100 in the US as well. Okay? Can you get me people I can give loan to so that they can start their real estate business? And I said to her, absolutely. This Saturday, I'll give you, 30 minutes to talk to the students that are coming for my real estate investment masterclass, how they can get loan from you. So whether it's mortgage, whether it's construction loan, whether it's bridging loan, or whatever name you call it, the money exists, the money is available, and you can access it. You just need to show up. Okay? Who is showing up this Saturday? So send me a DM right now. I'm going to be giving you a 50% discount. Instead of paying £500 for the Real Estate Investment Masterclass in London, you will just pay £250. Good news. You can attend the event virtually. Sorry, not free. You can attend the event virtually. And if you want to attend virtually because you are not in London, but this is useful to you. By the way, we will also focus on US market, Dubai market, Nigerian market. If you want to attend virtually, instead of paying £500, I'll allow you to pay just £200. Okay, any part of the UK, European Union, because this model works in all the Western countries. Canada is the same model, it's the same principle that you can deploy. So send me a DM. Please note, the discount I'm giving you ends today. So tomorrow, I can only give you 40% discount. Okay? And then on Friday, I'll only give you 30% discount. So I'm telling you already. So you don't say, but sir, you mentioned 50% discount. No, the 50% discount is if you are paying today for the Real Estate Investment Masterclass London. Now, how many of you can see just from how to finance your real estate deals in the UK and the Western world? How many of you can see yourself making money from the real estate world? If you can see yourself, just type, I can see myself. How many of you, based on the explanation I gave you, by the way, tomorrow I'm doing another session like this, just giving you some other tips. But from today, we focus on financing real estate deals in the UK and other Western world. How many of you can see yourself doing this? Okay, making money from this. Okay, based on what you've learned. Just type, I can see myself. For those of you who came late, you can rewatch the video all over again. There's so much to learn about how you can do great deals in the real estate sector here in the UK and other Western worlds. and how you can maximize it. Somebody says, how can I do this same thing in Nigeria? Well, that's not the focus of today's talk, but during Saturday's training I will be sharing that with you as well. You can also, so you may not start with institutional investment in Nigeria, but you can use crowdfunding in Nigeria, and I'm going to be sharing with you how you can do crowdfunding for your real estate deals in Nigeria. You really don't have developed lenders, very robust investment lenders, right, in Nigeria when it comes to institutional lenders. So this is not something you repeat. I have seen people try to repeat the financing model in the Western world in Nigeria. They eventually went to jail. Okay, and I'm not kidding you. They went to jail. Literally, the bank sent them to jail, because in this part of the world, the principles are a lot easier, right? I'll give an example. If you default on your mortgage 3 times, okay, the bank takes over your property, and they take over your property and try to sell it at auction. Once they sell it, based on the price they sell it, they take their own money, and if there's any change, they give it. If there's no change, they let you know there's no change. Everybody walk away. But when you take loan from African institutional lenders, they come after you, not just the assets. They come after you. The first, if you're a very, very big man, what they do is to use social media, internet, media generally, to blackmail you. How many of you saw a video of a bank whose staff went to protest in the house of a very big man in Nigeria? How many of you remember? The man was about campaigning for election, and literally the staff of the bank took placard in front of the man's house and said, "We'll lose our job if you don't pay your loan." And it went viral. That's the kind of thing they would do for to you if you take institutional money. But that's even because the man is big, he's untouchable. Now, if it's common man like you and I, you're just going to find yourself in jail, because they will accuse you of squandering the money. They will claim you stole the loan. They will claim you misappropriated the loan, and they will practically go for you. You may rot in jail practically because you took, So I tell people there are other models that work. Now, at a level, you still need to take loan. There are a lot of foreign companies who are ready to give construction loan to companies in Africa. So you can consider that as well. There are a lot of institutional investors who are foreign, and most of them will give you single digit. Also, you should consider Bank of Nigeria, right? CBN, because those loans are single digit loan, and they're a more reasonable type of loan. But of course, you and I know those ones involve who you know. There's a lot of, it's majorly about connections and all of that, so be conscious of that. But those are the opportunities that exist. But bottom line, you can get good financing for your real estate deal in the Western world. Is more robust, is a lot better. You don't need to know anybody, you just need to be trained. And there's so much money in that. There's a lot of ways to take your business to the next level. In fact, like I started today's training, I don't know if you remember when I said good debt and bad debt. If you remember, type I remember. Okay, I started because many of us who come from Africa, because we've seen how bad debt has landed people into trouble, or debt generally, right? We've seen how people's name has been spoiled because they took a loan. We are scared to take good debts in this part of the world. And that's why many of you are not building wealth for yourself. In the Western world, the only way to be rich is to take good debt. That is how to be rich. That's how to come out of the rat race here. Else, if and unfortunately, a lot of our people are not well educated. So they keep thinking, if I can get a better job, okay? If I can, get more degree, if I can get more certification. That's not how to come out of poverty in the Western world. You hate poverty, you want to come out of it in the Western world, you have to take good debt. And if you are not here, go watch the beginning of this training. I talked about good debts and bad debts. Good debts are debts that you take, okay, and you put towards cash producing assets. Let me repeat it again. Good debts are debts that you take and you put towards cash producing assets. For the last time, I'll repeat myself. Good debts are debts that you take and you put towards cash producing assets. Bad debts are debts that you take and you put towards liability and non-cash producing products. So you take debt from the bank or from any lender to use to buy your own house, and you live in the house. Your house is not an asset. The house you live in. It is the house that you rent out to other people that is an asset. So at the end of the day, you may still struggle. Yes, you may still be in big trouble. Okay, so you need to know this. And like I said, a lot of people don't understand good debts, bad debts. Which one do I put in my money? Which one do I do? And because we don't have this proper understanding, we think all debts are the same. They are not. If you, for example, take institutional investment and you buy a car, okay, and you say, oh, but I need a car to drive my kids around. That is not a good debt. So a good debt is something you buy and you put into a house that tenants are paying you every month. And you can now use the rent from the tenant to pay your mortgage and to also make profit for yourself. So this way, even if you're not doing any work, once you buy that house, okay, and you got training so that you are buying the right house, because the problem is many of us don't go to get training. I need to warn you here. Don't do real estate investment or any type of investment without training. Those who train will reign. Okay? Get training. Understand what you're doing. And whoever will train you must have demonstrated what they are teaching you. Okay? Which is another mistake many of us make. We go meet people to train us who they themselves need training. They've never made it in their own life. They've never proven what they are teaching you. And you go and meet them and say, be my mentor, train me. At the end of the day, both of you are going to run into crisis. So before somebody will train you, they have to be people who have generated results in the area they are teaching you. Okay, what have they done for themselves? What businesses do they run? Have they demonstrated this? What's the evidence that this person has done this for themselves and have been able to build wealth? So for me, that's usually the way I go about getting mentors. I never listen to a man who does not have results in the area they are teaching me, except if what they are teaching me is how not to do it. Okay, I'll listen to you if you have failed so that I know how not to fail. Okay? Is this making sense at all? So if you are saying to me, oh, I made a loss, I lost money, and I'm teaching people how not to make the same mistake. Oh yeah, I'll listen to you. And all I'm learning is how not to lose. But many of us go into businesses, we don't have any mentor, we don't know anybody who has made it. We have not, looked for people who have succeeded in that area. And then we just pick up one day and say, hey, here I'm going, you know, I want mentorship. I mean, I want to start a business. I don't go into any business without learning about the business. Always get the knowledge first. Always pay and learn. How does this thing work? And learn it from those who have done it. Once you've learned from those who have made it, then you can go ahead and do your own too, because you have somebody guiding you. And if you run into any crisis, they can say, hey, you know, avoid this, correct this, prevent this. And for me, that's the model that's worked. Are you happy you are in this class? Talk to me, guys. Are you happy? If you're happy you are in this class, type I'm happy. Okay? Are you happy? Come on, guys, talk to me. If you're happy about what you've learned today, type I'm happy. Remember, feel free to quickly send me a DM right away. My team will reply you and give you the details so you can grab your 50% discount. And like I said, the 50% discount ends today. Okay, so the event is hybrid. We're doing both physical and physical in London. And those of you who are not in London, you can join virtually and you will still learn a great way and get value, and it's just going to be a great opportunity. Biggs says do giveaway. First of all, Biggs, there's no bigger giveaway than what I've just done. I've taught people how to build wealth for themselves. This stupid mindset of giveaway where people are making you useless in Africa does not help. Let me assume I give you money today. Biggs, won't you need another tomorrow? Okay, I'm not a politician, and the reason why politicians give you this giveaway, they don't give you because they love you, Biggs. They give you so you can vote for them, okay, and suffer for another 4 years. It's the same thing that happened between Cain, between Isaac and Jacob and Esau, okay, where you are constantly selling your birthright to politicians, giveaway, and then your next 4 years is mortgaged, and then you cry for the next 4 years. So anytime you're meeting a rich man, tell him to teach you how he made it. That's what people who know what they're doing are doing. Have you ever seen Bill Gates do giveaway? Have you ever seen Mark Zuckerberg do giveaway? Have you ever seen Warren Buffett do giveaway? Okay, these people are richer than all of us who say we are rich people in Africa combined. What do? They do what we call institutional giving, which is what I do. This year alone, we have given more than 20 people $5,000 for their business. This year alone, we've paid school fees of several children. That is called institutional giving. Okay? But to come on Facebook and say, okay, all of you, 10 people, I'm giving you 100,000. I'm not helping you. You will still need another 100,000 next week. So what you need is, how do you permanently come out of poverty? Which is what I've just done now. If you go to my YouTube, I've done more than 1,000 videos on YouTube. Okay, on how to do e-commerce business, free videos, how to do software vending, you know, even London here on Saturday, I'm still giving people free tickets for the morning training between 9 a.m. and 12 a.m. Okay, 12 noon. And what am I teaching in the morning training? I'm just teaching them 5 businesses they can do here in London. Okay. It's just 3 hours before the real estate training itself. And it's £250, but I've given already 50 free tickets for that one as well. That is the way we can help people. Not to just be doing giveaway that doesn't help them. Tomorrow you will still need money. Okay? And nobody is really helping you long term. My YouTube handle is Dr. S. Akintayo. Just type Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube. Okay? Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube. Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube. That's my YouTube handle. So you can subscribe and watch tons and tons and tons of videos that empower you. But to sit down and be waiting for free lunch and free money giveaway, okay, is a wrong mindset that you need to correct, and it doesn't help any one of you. Okay, I'm sure you've gotten other people have done giveaway to you. Has it changed your life? You will constantly keep needing their giveaway, and does it make any sense? Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So at some point you have to be honest with yourself and say, how far is this model taking me? Do I want to continue asking for free money that is not taking me far? Okay? So it's up to you what you want and how to take responsibility for your life. And ultimately, I've said this to many people. You have one life, not two. And you're absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life. How many of you know that all the rich people you know are not first generation rich people? Okay? All the rich people you know. Most of us you call rich today, our fathers were poor. The word started with us. And it's a real fact to the fact that it is any generation that take responsibility that eventually become rich. Elijah Pashewa says, I sat under your mentorship for 4 months and now I have an establishment. Though the establishment is into real estate investment, but I got moved by the way you started your business. Elisha Pashewa, thank you for that testimony. Did you hear that? That's a live testimony right now about a man who leverage on what we teach. Because for me, I don't believe in giving people fish. Teach them how to fish. They won't need you forever. They won't need you again. Okay? They can move on with their lives without you. And I've always said this, except you're a wicked man. Okay? Any good man will empower people in such a way that they won't need him again. And I mean it. Only wicked people want people to keep coming back to them for money all the time. Only wicked people. Good people know that the ultimate solution is to teach people how to fish. Ultimate solution. My goal has always been to help people stand on their 2 feet. Okay, that's always been my goal. How can people stand on their 2 feet? Not that today they need me, tomorrow they keep calling me again, they still keep needing me. I'm not helping them that way. If I really care about people, I have to be able to make sure that I empower them in such a way that they can stand on their own 2 feet. I hope this makes sense. Oh, love you guys. So I can't wait to see you all on Saturday, whether you're joining physically or you're joining virtually. For physical classes here in London, just send me a DM. If you're joining us virtually, you can join from anywhere in the world, and it promises to be a life-changing time. Love you all. Bye-bye. Oh.